on, guys? Jason Beck Fishing here, coming to you with another video. Today we're doing another unboxing of Monster Bass. This is for the month of September. If you guys don't know what Monster Bass is, it's a subscription-based box based on your region. What it does is they're going to send you baits that are specific to your region. So like if you're in the Northeast like myself, you're going to get certain baits that are catered to that area. Southwest, like the Florida area and stuff, you're going to get baits that area, and so on and so on across the country. I'll put a link down below to get yourself your $10 off your first box if you would like. Just go to monsterbass.com, or like I said, click that link down below to get that 10 bucks off. So let's go ahead and get inside this box and see what we got. Alright, so Monsterbass is doing a contest with their social media. So basically it's called Show Me Your Bass. So you're going to snap a picture, share it on social media, and you can win prizes. They give away prizes every week. Use the hashtag #TheBetterBox and hashtag MonsterBass. Pretty cool. Alright, so let's go ahead and get in here. First thing we're going to do is get the card. And I see they're doing another contest too. If you go and use the Better Box and recording a video on YouTube, Facebook, or Instagram, they're going to give you $100. So that's pretty cool. And then on the other side of the card is going to give you all the baits and to break down the prices. So if you want to see that, I'll go ahead and do that. You can go ahead and pause it. But we're looking at baits from Savage Gear, Live Target, Strike King, Roadrunner, ZMan, Great Lakes Baits, Xzone, and Mustad hooks. Cool thing about this subscription-based box compared to other ones, and I've said this before in videos and I'll say it again, the baits that you get in this box are baits that you can find in stores. So like with the other subscription-based boxes, sometimes we'll get, and most of the time we'll get sample packs, colors that may not be in existence. You're going to get baits that might have been discontinued and are going to be found, or surplus baits, or you get baits from China or Japan and stuff that you can't get anywhere but through those box companies. What's cool about these subscription-based boxes is that it can get you out of your comfort zone. So if you get a box like Monster Bass and you get a bait in there that you were like, I was questioning this bait, never knew if I would use it or would never give it a shot because you were intimidated by it. These boxes like this one here get you out of your comfort zone, gets you out there using baits that you normally wouldn't use, and if you end up liking it, because they're well-known brand names like Strike King, like Z-Man, stuff like that, you can walk into your Dick's Sporting Goods, you can walk into your Academies, Bass Pros, Cabela's, pick up these baits, pick up other colors to try, and it's a new bait to add to your arsenal to help you catch a monster bass. So, first things first, we have a business card. This is from O'Meals. I believe this is like a MREs, they call them. I'm not 100% sure, but you can go to their website and use that code if you want, and that's going to give you 20% off your first order. It's pretty cool. Next thing we got is the Monster Bass sticker. This is a new sticker that they put out. The original one just had the logo of Monster Bass on there, but this one here is going to go on my kayak if I go ahead and go that route for next year for bass fishing. So first thing we're going to start with, and sorry guys, I have a little bit of a cold, is the soft plastics. So first thing we got is Great Lake Baits. I don't know too much about this company. That I know that they're through Monster Bass. I'm not sure if it's a Monster Bass brand soft plastic or if it's something else there. But this looks like it's a toad style bait. Go ahead and open it up there. And that's it right there. It's kind of like a tomato color mixed with like a wine almost color, but it's a pretty cool toad style bait. It's got some nice little kickers on the back. Fall is here. The transition is getting colder out. The bass are starting to push the bait fish in close. So even though this is a toad style bait, it can imitate bait fish too as well. I'm going to throw that on a Buzzbait. I'm going to throw that on a keel weighted hook and run that across through there. And with that kicking action, it's going to imitate a bait fish and hopefully catch you a good sized bass. So anyway, that's a Great Lakes bait. You get 3 of them in the pack. Next bait we're going to go with is the Xzone. This is the 6-inch deception worm and green pumpkin black flake. So go ahead and put that there. You guys can read it. And pause it if you like. This is just your basically typical finesse worm. That's it right there. pretty cool. I like what's neat about it. It has a lot of, I don't know if the camera will pick it up. If you see right through there, and down on that tail, there's like little cups, and I think that's to catch air when it's going into the water, and it's going to give it that light fluttering action where it's going to be like going like that. And also, if you're hooking this on a shaky head, which is most likely what I'm going to do, the air pockets are going to pick that tail up, because it does say it's a floating worm, and it's going to act like a bait fish or even a worm itself feeding off the bottom. So pretty excited to try those. I do love trick worms. I've used ZMan products many times before and done very well over the years. So that's them there. And this is a 15 pack of baits, so that's definitely a full pack. Next, soft plastic, one of my favorites that I'm starting to use more and more and get confidence in now that I started doing drop shotting and Ned rigs, and that's ZMan, and this is the Finesse Shad in Meat Dog. I love the names of these things. This is definitely a drop shot bait, or you can rig it up with a Ned rig. It's made out of that Elastic, so it's completely indestructible almost. But yeah, that's the color. It's got like a clear belly and like almost a I want to say like a morning dawn color, but I'm definitely going to rig that drop shot, probably a weedless drop shot. I'm getting ready to fish in Chesapeake this coming weekend for my Bass Nation tournament, and I'll definitely be throwing these. And the one thing about the ZMan is I'm getting more and more of them. I'm loving the colors. Like my favorite TRD right now is Yoga Pants. It's an amazing, amazing color. And this is an 8-pack, and that's in the 4-inch size. Alright, going to our hard baits. First thing I see is the Live Target Bluegill. This is a 1/2 ounce bluegill swim bait. I've had the bigger versions of Live Target swim baits, and I've done okay with them. I tend to catch more toothier critters like your pike, your muskies, and pickerel with these guys. But the thing about this one is it's really small. And as far as those bass are pushing those bait fish in, these bluegills are in there too, eating the smaller bait fish. And if a bass is hungry enough, he's gonna get himself a small bluegill as a meal. This is also a killer bait during the spawn when them bass are chasing bluegills off the beds, or off their beds when the bluegills are in there trying to steal the fry. You drag this little sucker down through a bed, and it's on like Donkey Kong. So that's a cool little bait there. I definitely want to step up my swim bait game. I don't use it much here in New Jersey, except for like those soft paddle tail styles, but these bigger ones I'm going to start using myself. Next thing we see here is the Randy's Swimmin' Runner. Roadrunners, guys. They've been around forever. This is going to be a killer bait during the fall transaction. I'm going to throw that, or transition, excuse me. I'm going to throw that up near docks, pilings, rocks, all kinds of stuff. And it's got that bait fish imitation, gives you an extra bait fish on there. And what's cool about this is if I don't want to use this, I could switch that up with a fluke. I could switch it up with a Swimmin' shad, any kind of thing like that. This is cool. It's 3/8 ounce. It's basically like an underspin. Roadrunner's been around forever. I know I've used them for panfish, crappie, stuff like that. So pretty excited to use this one. I think this is going to be a really key bait on my tournament coming up next weekend. So, next thing we got here, another awesome bait. Another bait that I have no confidence in. Never caught a fish in this in the 30-something years I've been fishing. Strike King. This is the Bleeding Bait Elite Buzzbait. Go ahead and crack this open because it's already broke open. Buzzbaits. I've thrown them. I've used them. I've never caught a fish. Cool thing about this one, it's got a red hook and a little bit of red in the skirting to represent that bleeding effect. The cool thing I noticed about this buzzbait is, I don't know if you can see on the front there's like this little plastic or rubber grommet, and what that's going to do is when you're running that through some muck and junk in the water, that's going to basically reflect off of that and keep your blade from getting all muffed up and destroyed and not functionable. Also with this bait too, it's going to give you sorry, somebody was calling me. It's going to give you 2 holes drilled in it. It's going to give you an extra bubble trail. And the other thing that's cool with this bait too is if I wanted to, I can rig it up with one of those Great Lakes toads, and that's going to give you even more commotion and more with those tails kicking. So pretty excited to try this one. Like I said, I've never caught a fish on a buzzbait. I've used them, but it's just a confidence bait I have no confidence in. Alright, so here's another one of those weird baits that I would never buy. I've seen them on the internet. People use them on YouTube. I've seen them in stores. And that's the Savage Gear 3D bat. This was an iCast winner in 2017. I do fish a lot of top water stuff. I've caught and fished on top water, and this is basically just like a crawler style bait. Like when it's got the paddles on the side, so it's gonna do a little side by side action there. The thing about these bat baits, and I think they'll work really good, is not to use them in big bodies of water, like big lakes, big reservoirs and stuff like that. I think small farm ponds, pond hopping, that kind of stuff is going to work good, because I know that a few times I've been out fishing, I've seen bats later in the evening skimming the surface, eating the bugs off the water, and I know that every once in a while those bats fall in, and I can just see this little tiny, I mean, this profile bait is only, I don't know if it tells me the size, I'm going to say 2.5, maybe 3 inches in diameter. It's a small little bait. Got some rowels. Looks like it's got some super sharp hooks. I'm not going to go ahead and open it, but pretty excited about it. Got the feathers on the back there. Sorry about that sound. Feathers on the back there, which is when that bat is sitting and waiting because it's tired from swimming, of course. Those feathers are going to pulsate in the water and trigger another bite. So pretty excited to go ahead and throw this one and see how it does. And last but not least, I threw in some 3/0 must-have hooks. I can always use hooks. I can use them for those finesse shads if I wanted to. I can use them for those deception worms. But anyway, guys, overall, great box. So, like I said before, go in, check out Monsterbass. The link will be down below. Go ahead and click on that link and get $10 off your first box. I mean, if you add all this stuff up, you're paying $25 a box and you're getting close to $60 worth of baits. I mean, that's crazy. And they're full packs. I mean, they're not sample packs with a couple baits here and there and that are like random colors. They're full packs. I mean, it's totally worth it to me. Gets you out of your comfort zone, gets you on the water, gets you catching monster bass. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I'm hoping to do more of these videos. I'm still working on getting another camera to get back out on the water and do more tips and know-hows with these baits that I get from Monsterbass and how I use them, so you can probably use that and add that to your arsenal. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Tight lines, and let's do this.